Outcast Rising. The message from the Galactic Assembly arrived on a Tuesday. Like all their communications, it was brief, dismissive, and final. Request for emergency aid, denied. Request for technological exchange, denied. Request for diplomatic representation, denied. Reason: species insufficiently advanced for meaningful interaction. Admiral Helena Reyes crumpled the printed translation in her fist. Outside her window at United Earth Command, the lights of Mexico City glimmered against the night sky, a testament to human resilience. Those lights were dimmer now, conserving energy as Earth's resources dwindled. 50 years, she said quietly. 50 years we've known about them, watching their ships pass through our system, intercepting their communications, reaching out. And they still treat us like insects. Dr. Elijah Okafor, Earth's foremost xenolinguist, sat across from her desk. His usually calm demeanor had given way to a rarely seen anger. They've made their position clear, Admiral. The Assembly considers us a developing pre-FTL curiosity. Not worth saving, not worth talking to. Yet they'll happily watch us die, Helena said. The crisis had been building for decades. Climate cascade, resource depletion, failing ecosystems. Earth had perhaps 20 years before global agricultural collapse. Humans had made remarkable strides in clean energy and carbon capture, but too late, the damage was done. They needed off-world technology or resources to survive. And the 27 species of the Galactic Assembly, who routinely traveled through Sol's system as though it were an insignificant backwater, refused to even acknowledge humanity's distress signals. They've left us no choice, then, Helena said, straightening her uniform. Activate Project Phoenix. Commander Maya Chen had never seen the inside of Hangar Zero. Few had. Hidden beneath the Gobi Desert, it housed humanity's greatest secret and final hope. Welcome to Phoenix, Commander, Admiral Reyes said as the elevator doors opened to reveal the cavernous facility. Maya's breath caught. Suspended in the center of the hangar was a ship unlike any she'd ever seen. It was small, surprisingly so, with unusual contours and a hull that seemed to shimmer with an almost liquid quality. That's it. That's our great hope, she asked, unable to hide her disappointment. The Admiral smiled. Don't judge by appearances, Commander. The Defiant is the product of 20 years of reverse-engineered alien technology. What it lacks in size, it makes up for in innovation. With respect, Admiral, the assembly ships are city-sized. They'll laugh at us. Let them laugh, came a new voice. Maya turned to see a tall woman with close-cropped silver hair approaching. I'm Dr. Sophia Winters, Chief Engineer of Project Phoenix, and I promise you, Commander, they won't be laughing for long. Dr. Winters led them to a holographic display showing the ship's schematics. We've been intercepting and decoding their transmissions for decades, she explained. While they ignored us, we studied them. Their technology, their culture, their politics, their weaknesses. We've learned more about the assembly than they could possibly imagine. Maya studied the schematics, her skepticism fading as she began to understand the brilliance of the design. It's a Trojan horse, she whispered. Dr. Winters nodded. Precisely. The Defiant appears unremarkable by their standards. Just the kind of primitive attempt at interstellar travel they'd expect from undeveloped humans. But beneath that facade, the hologram shifted to reveal hidden systems, technology that no Earth civilian would recognize. Adaptive camouflage. Admiral Rice continued. Quantum displacement shields. And our ace, a dimensional phasing drive. That's impossible, Maya said. We don't have that technology. We didn't build it from scratch, Dr. Winters admitted. 15 years ago, an assembly scout ship crashed in Antarctica. We recovered it before they could. From that wreckage, we've been able to reverse engineer select technologies and integrate them with our own innovations. Maya stared at the schematics, her mind racing. So the plan is what? We show up in this ship and surprise them with our stolen tech. Something like that. the Admiral replied. But the Defiant isn't designed for combat. It's designed for leverage, to get us a seat at the table. And why me? Maya asked. I'm a diplomat, not a ship commander. Exactly, Admiral Ray said. This is a diplomatic mission at its core. But we need someone who can fight if necessary. Your background is unique. You in diplomatic corps and special forces. Maya absorbed this information. When do we leave? And who's we? 2 weeks, and you'll have a crew of 7. The best Earth has to offer. The crew of the Defiant gathered for the first time in the ship's compact bridge. Maya studied each face, memorizing the people who would accompany her on humanity's most audacious gambit. Dr. Zara Patel, xenobiologist and medical officer, her dark eyes intense and curious. Lieutenant Jamal Washington, navigator and tactical expert, his movements precise and economical. Dr. Winters herself would serve as chief engineer, with her assistant, the brilliant but eccentric Dr. Leo Kim. Communications specialist Jin Park, whose breakthroughs in deciphering assembly languages had been crucial to the mission. And security chief Nikolai Volkov, a mountain of a man with a surprising gentleness when not in combat. 7 of us, Maya said. 7 humans against an entire galactic civilization. 7 is all we need, Dr. Winters replied. Each system on the Defiant is designed to be operated by a minimal crew. The fewer of us there are, the longer our supplies last, and the less attention we draw. Maya ran her hand along the command console. It felt both alien and familiar. Human interfaces retrofitted to control alien technology. Time to launch, Commander, Lieutenant Washington said. Maya took her captain's chair. Send the signal to Earth Command. Phoenix is taking flight. The Defiant departed Earth under cover of darkness, its launch disguised as a routine satellite deployment. As they cleared Earth's atmosphere, Maya felt a momentary pang of uncertainty. What if this was a fool's errand? What if they were wrong about the technology? Her doubts vanished as the ship cleared lunar orbit, and Dr. Winters engaged the primary drive. Dimensional phasing in 3, 2, 1. The stars outside the viewports stretched and blurred. There was no violent jolt, no sense of acceleration, just a subtle shift in reality as the Defiant slipped between the fabric of space-time. We're in phase, Dr. Winters announced. At this rate, we'll reach the assembly central hub in 3 weeks. Their journey was immediately detected. Assembly monitoring stations tracked the small human vessel with curiosity that quickly turned to mockery. The crew intercepted and translated the transmissions. The primitives have launched a ship. How quaint. Taking bets on how far they get before breakdown. I give them a week. Their hull design is laughable. Do they understand basic physics? Park played these messages over the bridge speakers. Instead of discouraging the crew, the alien derision strengthened their resolve. Let them underestimate us, Maya said. It's our greatest advantage. 2 weeks into their journey, they encountered their first direct contact. Assembly patrol vessel approaching, Lieutenant Washington announced. They're hailing us. Maya nodded to Park, who opened the communication channel. A reptilian face appeared on the main screen. The Draisen were one of the Assembly's military species, noted for their aggression and disdain for lesser races. Human vessel, this is Enforcement Captain Vasek of the Galactic Assembly. Your presence in protected space is unauthorized. Power down and prepare for inspection. Maya activated the translation system. This is Commander Maya Chen of Earth Vessel Defiant. We're on a diplomatic mission to the Assembly Hub. The Draisen made a sound that the translator interpreted as laughter. Diplomatic mission. Your species has not been granted diplomatic status. Your vessel appears to be armed. This is a violation of Assembly Protocol 147. Maya kept her expression neutral. We carry only defensive measures, as is permitted under the very distinguished Charter of Independent Vessels, Section 12, Paragraph 3. The Draisen captain blinked, clearly surprised that a human would know the details of assembly law. Your primitive vessel will be escorted to the nearest inspection station. Attempt to flee, and you will be destroyed. The communication ended. They're charging weapons, Washington warned. Evasive maneuvers, Volkov asked, hand hovering over the defense console. Maya shook her head. No, that's what they expect. Dr. Winters, prepare the display protocol. Are you sure, Commander? Dr. Winters asked. That will reveal some of our capabilities. Just enough to make them curious, not enough to show our full hand. As the patrol ship closed in, weapons hot, Dr. Winters activated a carefully calibrated sequence. The Defiant's hull rippled, quantum particles realigning. To the assembly sensors, it would appear that the ship was suddenly not entirely there. They're scanning us, Park reported. Their targeting systems can't lock on. The patrol ship fired anyway. Energy beams passed through the space where the Defiant appeared to be, finding nothing solid to impact. They're hailing us again, Park said. The Drasen captain's face reappeared, his expression now one of confusion mixed with the first traces of respect. Human vessel, explain your technological capabilities immediately. Maya smiled. Captain Vasek, I believe you'll find this situation is covered under Assembly Intelligence Directive 15A. Unknown technological developments from non-member species are to be reported directly to Central Authority for assessment. Again, she watched surprise register on the alien's face. You are well versed in our protocols for a primitive species. We've had 50 years to study you while you ignored us, Maya replied. We're a patient species, Captain, and we're fast learners. Now, will you escort us to the assembly hub, or shall we continue on our own? The Drasen conferred with someone off-screen before responding. We will escort you, but be warned, any hostile action will be met with overwhelming force. Understood. Defiant out. As the communication ended, Maya turned to her crew. Their expressions ranged from shock to triumph. Did we just outmaneuver an assembly patrol? Jin Park asked. For now, Maya cautioned. This was just the first test. The real challenge awaits us at the hub. She stared at the massive patrol ship now flanking them rather than targeting them. But we've proven one thing already. Humanity deserves to be taken seriously. The Defiant continued its journey toward the heart of galactic civilization, no longer mocked, but watched with newfound wariness. The first move in humanity's desperate gambit had succeeded. The next would determine Earth's fate. The reckoning. The assembly hub loomed before them, a massive structure that defied human architectural understanding. It wasn't a space station so much as a small artificial world, with sections that rotated at different speeds, glowed with different lights, and presumably housed different atmospheres for the 27 species that made up the Galactic Assembly. It's beautiful, Dr. Patel whispered, her xenobiologist's eyes drinking in the details. And heavily armed, Lieutenant Washington added, pointing to the defense platforms surrounding the hub. I count at least 40 major weapon emplacements. Their escort, the Drasen patrol ship, had been joined by 2 others during their approach. The assembly was taking no chances with the mysterious human vessel that had demonstrated unexpected capabilities. We're being hailed, Park announced. It's the hub control. A new alien face appeared on the view screen, this one belonging to a Vorex, one of the administrative species known for their precise minds and inflexible adherence to protocol. Human vessel Defiant. You will dock at platform 17C. Your craft will be secured, and your crew will be escorted to quarantine processing. Unauthorized technology will be confiscated. Resistance will result in immediate neutralization. Maya leaned forward in her captain's chair. Hub control, we come as diplomatic representatives of Earth. Under Assembly Charter, Article 7, we request formal reception protocols and a hearing before the Council. The Vorex controller's face remained impassive. You are not a recognized species within the Assembly. Diplomatic protocols do not apply. You will comply with quarantine procedures. Maya exchanged glances with her crew. This was expected. Their first real test. Dr. Winters, initiate Protocol Omega. Everyone, prepare for phase shift on my mark. The Defiant approached the designated docking platform, appearing to comply with instructions. Security vessels surrounded them, weapons trained on the small human ship. They've locked onto us with tractor beams, Washington reported. Let them think they have us, Maya said calmly. Park, open a broadcast channel, wide spectrum, all assembly frequencies. Park's fingers danced across her console. Channel open, Commander. Maya stood, straightening her uniform. When she spoke, her voice was clear and commanding. Attention, Galactic Assembly. I am Commander Maya Chen of Earth. For 50 years, you have ignored our existence. You have denied our requests for aid while our planet faces ecological collapse. You have dismissed us as primitive and unworthy of notice. On the view screen, the Vorex controller was frantically signaling to someone off-screen. Today, that changes. Maya continued. We did not come to be processed, detained, or studied. We came to be heard. They're powering up weapons systems, Washington warned. Now, Dr. Winters, Maya ordered. Dr. Winters activated the dimensional phasing drive. The Defiant shimmered as it partially shifted out of normal spacetime, just enough to slip free of the tractor beams while remaining visible. Alarms blared throughout the hub as the seemingly captured human vessel suddenly reappeared 2 kilometers from its expected position. All defensive systems to full, Maya commanded. Park, maintain the broadcast. The Defiant now drifted in open space near the hub's central rotunda, where, according to their intelligence, the Assembly Council chambers were located. We have no wish for conflict, Maya continued her broadcast. But we will no longer be ignored. Earth requests. No, Earth demands. A formal hearing before the full Assembly Council. We have waited long enough. The response was immediate. A dozen defense platforms turned toward them, energy weapons charging. They're preparing to fire, Washington said, tension evident in his voice. Hold position, Maya ordered. Dr. Winters, phase shield at maximum. The first volley of energy weapons struck the space occupied by the Defiant. To the Assembly sensors, their beams should have destroyed the small vessel instantly. Instead, they passed through it harmlessly, dissipating into space. Phase shield holding, Dr. Winters reported. They can't touch us while we're partially out of phase. The attacks stopped as quickly as they'd begun. The Assembly forces seemed unsure how to proceed against a vessel that their weapons couldn't harm. New transmission incoming, Park announced. It's different. Higher authority. The view screen changed to show an alien unlike any they had seen before. It had luminous, compound eyes and a body that seemed to shimmer with an internal light. Maya recognized the species from their intelligence files. An Eldari, one of the founding races of the Assembly. Human vessel, the Eldari's melodious voice came through the translator. I am High Counselor Thalen. Your actions are unprecedented and highly irregular. However, your technological capabilities suggest we may have misjudged your species' development. Maya allowed herself a small smile. High Counselor, we appreciate your reassessment. Earth simply wishes to be heard. The Eldari's compound eyes shifted in what might have been their version of narrowed suspicion. The technology you are displaying is not consistent with our observations of Earth's development. Explain. With respect, Counselor, we would prefer to discuss such matters in a formal council session. As equals. A long pause followed as the Eldari presumably conferred with others. Very well. You will be granted a council hearing. However, you must power down your unusual drive system and submit to a security escort. Maya had prepared for this. We accept your offer of a hearing, Counselor. However, given the hostile reception we've received thus far, the Defiant will maintain its defensive capabilities until our diplomatic status is formally recognized. Another pause. The Eldari seemed to shimmer more intensely. Was that their version of anger? A compromise, then. Your vessel may maintain its current position. You and 1 crew member may transport to the council chamber. The rest will remain aboard. Maya turned to her crew. They had discussed this contingency. Dr. Patel, you're with me. Lieutenant Washington, you have command of the Defiant. If we don't return in 3 hours, or if communications are cut, you know what to do. Washington nodded grimly. They all knew the final protocol. The Defiant carried data that would expose assembly vulnerabilities to every marginalized species in the galaxy. It was their insurance policy. The council chamber was a vast amphitheater with concentric rings of seats, each section adapted to the physiological needs of different species. Maya and Dr. Patel stood in the center, on a raised platform. Around them, representatives of the 27 assembly species watched with varying expressions of curiosity, disdain, and alarm. High Counselor Thalen addressed the gathering. This emergency session has been called to address the unprecedented arrival of representatives from Earth, a developing world previously classified as pre-contact status. A murmur rippled through the chamber. Maya recognized the reactions from their intel: surprise, outrage, confusion. A large insectoid creature rose from one of the lower tiers. Point of order. Humans are classified as a Class 3 developing species. They have no standing here. Yet they have somehow acquired advanced phase shift technology, countered another alien, a graceful avian being. That alone warrants investigation. Investigation, yes. Recognition, no, rumbled a massive entity composed of what appeared to be living stone. Their technology is obviously stolen or copied. They remain primitive. Maya had listened to enough. She stepped forward, activating the universal translator in her collar. Esteemed members of the Assembly, my name is Commander Maya Chen of Earth. Thank you for granting us this audience, however reluctantly. She paused, making eye contact with as many alien representatives as possible. You call us primitive. You classify us as unworthy of contact. Yet in the 50 years since we discovered your existence, we have studied you tirelessly. We have decoded your languages, understood your laws, analyzed your weaknesses, and yes, we have developed technologies that surprise you. The chamber had grown quiet. Earth faces an ecological crisis that will lead to our extinction within 20 years. We have requested aid repeatedly. You have denied us, deeming us unworthy of saving. The stone entity interrupted. Natural development cannot be interfered with. Your crisis is part of your evolutionary path. Is that what you tell yourselves? Maya asked, her voice sharp. How convenient. Yet our intelligence shows that 6 other species have been granted emergency aid for similar crises in the past century alone. Another murmur, this one uneasy. She was revealing knowledge they didn't expect humans to have. The truth is simpler, Maya continued. You've written us off. Our system has few resources you can't find elsewhere. Our planet is damaged. Our technology was, until today, unimpressive. We offer you nothing of value, so you leave us to die. That is a serious accusation, Thalen said, their luminosity pulsing. It is the truth, Maya replied. And it brings me to why we are here today. Earth does not come begging. Earth comes offering a choice. Dr. Patel stepped forward, activating a holographic projector. Above them appeared images of Earth, its oceans, forests, cities, and people. My planet has unique biodiversity, Maya explained as the images shifted. Species found nowhere else in the galaxy. Cultural diversity unmatched in the Assembly. Thousands of languages, cuisines, art forms, philosophies, and most importantly, innovation. The hologram changed to show human achievements, from the first flight at Kitty Hawk to modern neural interfaces. Humans advance rapidly because we must. We face challenges and overcome them. In just over a century, we went from first flight to interstellar communications, and when we intercepted your transmissions, we learned from them. The stone entity rumbled again. If this is a sales pitch for your species, it is unconvincing. Many developing worlds have similar traits. I'm not finished, Maya said firmly. Dr. Patel, show them the Prometheus protocol. The hologram changed again, this time displaying complex schematics. Most of the council wouldn't understand what they were seeing, but their technical experts would. And Maya could see several representatives leaning forward in alarm. This is what humans developed when faced with extinction and abandoned by the galactic community: a comprehensive analysis of assembly defense systems, communication protocols, and governance structures, with exploitable weaknesses highlighted. The chamber erupted in outrage. Security drones moved closer to the platform. Maya raised her voice above the chaos. "We don't want to use this information. We come offering partnership, not threats. But understand this: if humanity faces extinction alone, we will not go quietly." High Counselor Thalon raised their limbs, restoring order. "Commander Chen, your approach borders on diplomatic terrorism." "We prefer to call it negotiation from a position of strength," Maya replied calmly. "A concept the Assembly clearly understands, given how you treat non-member species." Dr. Patil changed the hologram again, this time showing Earth's damaged ecosystems. "All we ask is the technological assistance to save our planet," Maya continued, her voice softening. "In exchange, Earth offers its unique perspective, its biodiversity, its cultural wealth, and our promise not to share what we've learned about assembly vulnerabilities with other marginalized species." The avian representative spoke up. "And if we refuse? Then the Defiant returns to Earth, and humanity prepares for the end in its own way. But I assure you, we would not suffer alone." The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Phelan conferred with several other council members before addressing Maya again. "You present us with an unusual diplomatic approach, Commander Chen. The council will recess to discuss your proposal." Hours later, Maya and Dr. Patil stood before the reassembled council. The mood had changed, less hostile, more calculating. Phelan spoke for the council. "The Assembly has reviewed Earth's situation. We have verified your ecological crisis and examined your technological achievements. Both are significant." The Eldary's compound eyes fixed on Maya. "We find ourselves in an unprecedented situation. Your acquisition of advanced technology, however you achieved it, demonstrates that humans cannot be dismissed as a primitive species. Your willingness to use that technology as leverage shows a concerning but not unfamiliar approach to diplomacy." Maya waited, keeping her expression neutral. "The Council has voted. Earth will be granted provisional observer status in the Assembly, with an expedited path to associate membership. A technological aid package focused on ecological restoration will be provided immediately. In return, Earth will share its complete technological developments and destroy all copies of the Prometheus Protocol." Maya allowed herself a small smile. "Earth accepts these terms, with one addition. We request Assembly assistance in establishing a permanent diplomatic presence here at the hub." Phelan's luminosity pulsed. "Agreed. Though I suspect you would have found a way to establish such a presence regardless." As the formal agreements were prepared, the avian representative approached Maya privately. "A bold gambit, Commander. You risked much on the assumption that we would value reason over pride." Maya nodded. "We studied you well. The Assembly may be arrogant, but it's pragmatic. And now Earth has something you want. Proof that your monitoring systems can be circumvented, your technologies reverse-engineered, your secrets discovered." The avian made a gesture Maya interpreted as amusement. "Indeed, I suspect humanity will be a disruptive influence on the Assembly." "We prefer to think of it as a fresh perspective," Maya replied, "one the Assembly clearly needs." 2 days later, the Defiant departed the hub, carrying formal recognition of Earth's status and the promised technological aid package. As they prepared to engage the phased drive for the journey home, Maya addressed her crew on the bridge. "The mission is complete, but our work is just beginning. Earth now has a voice in galactic affairs, but we'll need to use it wisely. Do you think they'll honor the agreement?" Volkov asked, still suspicious of the Assembly's intentions. "They will," Dr. Winters said confidently. Because we've shown them something they haven't seen in centuries, a species that can surprise them. They'll be studying us for decades, trying to figure out how we developed phase technology. Should we tell them we reverse engineered it from their own crashed ship? Lieutenant Washington asked with a grin. Let them wonder, Maya replied. It's good for them to be reminded that they don't know everything. As the Defiant engaged its drive and shifted partially out of normal space, Maya looked at the hub receding on their view screen. The massive structure now held a permanent Earth embassy, the first step in humanity's new role in galactic politics. The galaxy had mocked when humans sent one ship. They weren't mocking anymore. Set course for home, Maya ordered. We have good news to deliver. The stars stretched and blurred as the Defiant accelerated. Ahead lay Earth, still wounded, still struggling, but no longer alone. Behind them, the assembly adjusted to a new reality, one where a supposedly primitive species had outwitted them with their own technology and forced its way onto the galactic stage. It wouldn't be the last time humanity surprised them.